Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
The proof is on the door of this home invasion in Ypsilanti, but the proof, even better, is in the doorbell camera. Take a look at this. What the homeowner did inside of this house to stop these guys from getting in.
We have a big recall involving brand new Ford SUVs. The problem, a missing part, and it could cause a crash. We have much more coming up in my Help Me Hank recall alert.
All right, Hank, and we continue to follow breaking news from Allen Park. A woman believed to be armed, locked in a standoff with police.
People living along Luana Avenue between Ecorse Road and Philomene Street have been ordered to stay inside while police work to get this to end peacefully. So let's get out to Sean Leahy's live at the scene with more. Sean.
Kimberly, just got an update from Allen Park Police plus Downriver SWAT as well. They are asking people here on Luana, just north of Ecorse here, to not only stay in their homes, but also go to the basement. They have confirmed that a woman here on the east side of the street is armed with what they believe, or what they're calling, an AR-15 style weapon. They're saying stay in the basement in case she has a line of sight to pull off a shot from one of the windows in her home. This whole thing got started with a young mom across the street. She was outside with her kids when she said the woman came across the street and threatened her with that gun.
She has bad anxiety. She wouldn't hurt anybody. She has bad anxiety, so it's mental stuff going on right now with her.
That's the voice of the brother of a young woman barricaded inside her home on Luana near Ecorse here in Allen Park. That brother and police desperately trying to get the woman to come out and come out safely. This all started mid-afternoon when police confirmed that the young woman aimed an AR-15 style weapon at the young mother across the street, accusing that mother of stealing her purse. The mom and kids retreated to their basement as police rolled in. The woman's brother tells us that she suffers from mental illness and often accuses people of taking things from her.
You know, she's got that anxiety, so she hears voices, and so she keeps her house boarded up, or she's, you know, paranoid and that type of thing. So she thinks people are taking her things or coming by her house and doing, you know how people with anxiety, how they react.
Does she have a weapon?
I have never known her to have a weapon, no.
Back here live, but Allen Park Police just confirming to us right before we came on the air that they do believe that she is armed with an AR-15 style weapon. I also spoke to the family who was being threatened in this case. They were hiding in the basement until Allen Park officers were able to reach them and get them out of the basement safely. The mother and kids and her husband are at the Allen Park Police Department right now. They are safe. But again, police are saying stay indoors until this situation is over. We can hear them calling her on the loudspeaker saying, listen, it's okay. You can come out. We want to end this peacefully. We'll certainly let you know what happens. Back to you.
Yeah, updates coming. All right, Sean.
It really hit me as soon as I looked through the peephole. Like, whoa, this is really happening.
That's right, and it all happened in mere seconds. Two young men carrying guns broke into Anthony Richmond's home.
All caught, as you can see, on cameras. Nick Monticelli shows us the homeowner fought back, and that was caught on camera, too.
Good evening. These two young men certainly were not paying any attention to this home in Ypsilanti because there is a security camera on almost every single corner, and those cameras capture them walking around the house casing the joint before breaking in. But it is the doorbell camera that captures their perfect faces.
I won't forget the boom, boom, boom.
Not just the sounds of his door being kicked in, everything Anthony Richmond heard and saw will stay with him. About 2 a.m. this morning, these two decided to break into Richmond's Ypsilanti home, but somehow missed the bright lights on the doorbell camera.
I run to the front door and I see these two guys, one that had a black bandana on his face and another one that just had a black hoodie on.
And seconds later, that door broke open.
When they came in, I pushed them. When I pushed them, I was able to I closed the screen door first. Then they was trying to come back in. I closed this main door.
Yes, Anthony fought the gun-carrying burglars off, shoving them outside. And if you listen closely, you can hear one kid telling the other, "Don't fight it."
The young man with the black hoodie, he had a gun up like this at the door. And by that time, I just bent down like this.
Once they were gone, Richmond looked at the rest of his surveillance video and found the two apparently casing his home, walking around it before trying to break in. Now his sense of security is a little broken, wondering why he was targeted.
I just don't understand what made them do that to me, because I've never hurt nobody in any shape or form.
In Ypsilanti, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Wow. And Ypsilanti police officers immediately came trying to track the suspects in the neighborhood. Now they're hoping somebody recognizes them from the video and turns them in.
So, pretty good look at him.
Yeah, really.
Unreal. Well, another day of high humidity, though we do finally have some relief on the way.
Yeah, let's get over to Ben, who's tracking a break in this muggy weather here. Hi, Ben.
Finally, guys. Yeah, we've been watching this for days, and it's almost here, but we've got to get through about the next 20 to 22 hours first. We did see some breaks in the clouds once those mid-afternoon eastside thunderstorms moved out, and we've responded temperature-wise. 86 right now in Detroit. Troy's at 86, and seeing some mid-80s all the way out into the west zone as well. Humidity is giving us a little bit of a temporary break depending on where you're at. North and west zone, those dew points are in the 50s. It's not going to last long. By tomorrow morning, that humidity is going to go right back up before it finally drops for good as we get into the later part of Thursday. But for the rest of the evening, toasty, will be dry. We're still keeping our eyes for the slight possibility of a thunderstorm on the east side, but I think a lot of us aren't going to see it. We'll look at your weekend and see how long that low humidity sticks around coming up. Devin?
All right, Ben. President Trump has spent the day with victims' families, survivors, and first responders after the mass shootings in both Ohio and Texas. Right now, in fact, he is in El Paso. Meantime, as the communities continue to grieve, some say his trip is adding to their pain. Let's get to Jay Gray in El Paso, the scene of the first and deadliest attack. He has a look at how the community is coping. Jay?
Good evening. At his first stop in Dayton, the president stayed behind closed doors, meeting privately with those most affected by the attack. While outside there and here in El Paso, there has been a very public reaction to his trip. President Trump on the ground in Dayton and met by protesters.
I want to send Trump a message that we need to have sensible gun control in this country.
That message in the wake of the weekend attack. Loud and clear. The president spending time with victims in an area hospital, local lawmakers and first responders, as well as lawmakers who say they challenged him on the issue of gun control.
Both the senator and I spoke very directly what we've been saying the whole time about the need for common sense gun legislation.
The meetings outside the view of cameras, but a handful of supporters were not.
It's terrible what happened down here, but that has nothing to do with our president.
In El Paso, the president's second stop, frustrated city officials say he has everything to do with the massacre there.
They were killed because of the rhetoric from the president, and our community knows that.
A community on edge.
Take off that hat.
This shouting match.
He's here to thank all the police officers and the first responders.
Erupting at the memorial outside of the Walmart where 22 were gunned down. Friends and family gather at a funeral home to say goodbye to one of 8 Mexican nationals killed in the attack, making one last trip across the border. Saying goodbye, a painful process that unfortunately dozens of families from Mexico through El Paso to Dayton are dealing with right now. In El Paso, Jay Gray, Local 4.
All right, Jay. Meanwhile, the White House has invited internet and technology companies to a roundtable discussion on violent online extremism. That's going to happen on Friday as the Trump administration comes under growing pressure to try to deter mass shootings tied to internet-fueled racism. A new recall coming down, just announced by Ford today for select SUVs.
Consumer investigator Hank Winchester is here, and Hank, this could cause a crash even if you're not moving. That's scary.
Yeah, that's really frightening. That's why we have important information for you right now. Ford issuing this recall alert this morning saying that there's a part in vehicles that keeps the car from moving while parked. And in these cases, that part could actually be missing. Now, the recalled SUVs are the 2020 Explorer and the Lincoln Navigator. The Explorers were built from March 27th to July 24th of this year. The Navigators were built from April 10th to July 24th of this year. Ford says there has been one accident, but that happened during the production process. The majority of the affected vehicles are in dealership inventories right now, but it is still important for you to make sure that your vehicle is not one of them. So what should you do? You should contact your dealer ASAP. We know this was a lot of information, so what I'll do is I'll post everything for you on the Help Me Hank page at clickondetroit.com. Devin?
All right, Hank. An investigation underway tonight in Detroit after a tragic crash this morning.
3 people were killed in the crash in the area of Gratiot and 7 Mile overnight. That's on the city's east side. Video from the scene shows extensive damage to all the vehicles. We're still working to learn if anyone else was hurt in that crash. Turning now to Taylor, where a fire breaks out inside a restaurant.
Fire was knocked out quickly, but not before causing enough smoke damage that the Big Boy restaurant on Telegraph was forced to close its doors for the day. Fire officials tell us the fire started in the kitchen, believed to have been an accident. The restaurant's going to stay closed for at least the rest of today because fire and safety inspections now have to be completed before they can reopen. Well, she's taking on everything from elder abuse to robocalls.
I get very upset when I see people who are being denied justice.
Help Me Hank going one-on-one with Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, and no question is off limits.
Also, this is the new drive-through. Ahead at 5, what sent a car straight through the wall of a Macomb County post office? Mara.
Devin, the former MSU dean of the medical school, is heading to jail right now, and that's because not just Larry Nassar, but something else as well.
And we continue to follow breaking news of that standoff unfolding in Allen Park right now. Police say homeowners in the area of Louana Avenue, north of Ecorse Road, need to stay in their homes and should go to their basements. Police believe the barricaded woman is armed with an AR-15 rifle. We're told the SWAT team has broken a window at the home and is ordering the woman to get out. We'll keep an eye on this and bring you any new information as it comes in.